All right, welcome everybody to Chalice and Chains. My name is Sam, and it's been a while since I've brought a game to the channel, but I'm very excited today because we are going to be playing Vampire the Masquerade version 5. This was the very first role-playing game that I started with, although it was version 2 or 3 back then. And it was sort of instrumental in how I became a game master and my philosophy on gaming. So that's exciting. Most of the people on the game today are familiar to the channel, but we have a few that are not. So I'm going to let everyone introduce themselves as well as their character names. And this is Vampire. So just a warning here. We are playing monsters and we are playing predators, and we will do monstrous and predatory things from time to time. So if anybody is concerned or has a demeanor or personality that may get a little squeamish, this may not be the game for you. But we do hope that you can stick around and enjoy the show. So I will start. I am Sam, as you know. I will be playing Simon Shimada today, and I got to change the name on my overlay because I messed it up here. But with that said, I'm going to kick it over to Cory, because Cory is going to be our storyteller today, and this will be his debut for sitting in the GM seat, and I can't think of a better system to start with. So, Cory, if you want to take it away, and then if you want to just bounce it to whoever to introduce themselves, do your thing.
Oh my good God. All right. Hey, everybody. I'm also not really a stranger to this channel. My name is Cory. I am going to be your storyteller today for Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition, just as Sam said. This is something that when I found this system, it just made sense. Those that know me, this is just it's just my personality. This is the type of gaming that I do. So I started up this campaign, and it should be fun. We're going to be playing in the illustrious city of Las Vegas, Nevada. It's gives us a very fun playground. I am very excited. The one thing that I want to say is I'm going to piggy off what Sam said, but say a little bit more brash because that's just me. This is a game in which things are going to happen that mortals don't do and vampires do. If you are a person that isn't going to want to hear things or see people make very questionable decisions, get the fuck out of here, because this is not the place for you. I'm very sorry. I love all of you. Thank you for all of my players today. And I'm going to shoot it over next to Jose, and he'll kick it off next.
Hey everybody, my name's Jose. I'm playing Hawk Rodriguez, and he's quite the little monster, and I definitely can't wait to play.
And next we have Andrew. He is new to the channel.
I am new here, so thank you for having me. I am Andrew. I will be playing the part of Jason Phoenix, and yeah, he'll be what he is.
Okay, so we next have Jason Smith. Is this your first time as well?
On Chalice and Chains, yes. My first time here. I've known of Sam's stuff for quite a while, though. Hi, everybody. I'm Jason Smith. I will be playing a vampire who goes by Tacky. His mortal name was Sean Pataki, and he will be dealing with some inner demons.
And last but certainly not least, we have Chris. She's certainly been around a lot.
Hey there. Yeah, I am Chris Johnson, and I'm very much looking forward to this game. I've been wanting to play Vampire ever since I started playing RPGs. So thank you, Cory, for running this, and thanks, Sam, for hosting it. Looking forward to playing with all you fine people. So my character's name is Kiara Manuzzi, and she's just a young woman starting her professional career as a sommelier.
Oh, you poor girl.
So
and I just want to say real quick, it's finally happening.
Yes,
Vampire after about 20
game is
years
here.
for me.
This is like 2 months in the making, guys. So
We've been
if
chomping
y'all look a
at
little
the bit.
excited, it's because so why don't we do this? And I've seen this said many times. Why don't we tell a vampire story? And we're gonna open up to this. You see the city lights of Vegas. It's like a flyby camera. And you're flying down the strip, and you see a lot of the hotels that you would normally see, of course. There's beautiful fountains, and then we come through those fountains, and it keys onto the Bellagio Hotel. Kind of the crown jewel of the strip. Not that any of them are, but there's just something different about this hotel. It's busy. It is today, right now, at 8. Well, no, it's not 8:45. It is. Well, whatever. We're not doing this time right now, but it's like 9:30-ish. Actually, before we get to that, we're gonna go to something real quick. In the residence of Jason Phoenix lives 2 people now. One person is a person that is, in essence, Jason's lieutenant. I don't know what she is to him some days, but her name is Riley. Her name is Riley Ruin. Anybody that is interested, she looks like Ruby Rose, if you know who that is. She's a very hard-nosed girl. And there's also another person that only moved in today, or last night, or whatever you want to say. And that is a character named Hawk. So very quickly after the evening has started, because we have to remember that in this game, it's going to be evening every time. No daylight for anybody anymore. Well, maybe one person.
Yeah, Hawk when I stake him.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to talk about those things right now. So we find this residence. It's lavish. We'll talk more about that here in a few minutes. But there's a knock on a door, and it's your door there, Hawk.
Yeah.
Hey, open the door.
It should be unlocked.
Cory, is he living in the residence now as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Right now. I wouldn't ask you to open the door if I could open the door. So open the door.
Gotcha. Yeah, he would walk over. He would open it, but he wouldn't open it halfway, just a little bit, just for her to get through.
And once the door opens, she pulls the door open. If you want to contest her holding onto the door, you can do that, and she pulls the door open. So we got to go do a thing real quick, and then you got to not look like this and look like could you shave?
Yeah, remember they make me wear this silly fucking suit.
Yeah, I see it hanging over there on the rack. It's a very nice piece. I don't know why you're so upset about this. But the thing is this. Your new daddy there, or whatever you want to call him, has said that we need to go up to the roof and kind of see what things look like. Now,
Gotcha. Whatever the boss says.
yeah. So, and she just turns around and starts walking away.
Gotcha. Yeah, he would go grab the suit and put it on. He's probably pissed off having to wear this shit.
Did you close the? So you close the door?
Nice.
You're not getting dressed yet. We got to go on the roof there, Hawk. Man.
All right, and he would start following her.
Yeah, and we make our way up to the top floor. We're able to get roof access from there. I don't want to explain the top floor until we have to. So it's pretty cool and lavish. So we do have to gain the access that we need and get to the roof. And once we get up there, we do see that still in the ground there is 2 stakes. There's chains to it, and some ash. It wasn't really cleaned up. That's kind of not a vampire thing to do. And yeah, it's up there. There's 2 stakes in the ground, and the remnants of 2 vampires that were put to the sun. Is there anything you'd like to look at?
Not really. I think he would look down and he'd probably look at both of you and he'd be like, "Look, it would have been a lot easier to kill me while I was sleeping in the small room."
All right. So they're. But if I wanted to kill you, you'd be dead. But the thing is this. You see those 2 poles over there?
Yeah.
There were. So you don't know anything of how this whole the hierarchy system works and any of this kind of yeah.
Not really. I mean, it didn't apply to me at the time.
Yeah, no, I understand. Well, let's give you the quick rundown. Jason Phoenix, the man that showed you mercy. He's the Baron of Las Vegas, the sheriff per se, the lawmaker. I'm his person, and the other woman you met, she's the princess of all of Nevada. Those 2 stakes, if you stake somebody to the ground and leave them out to the sun, you know what happens, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Those 2 people were the ex-prince and Baron of Las Vegas. But they used to call them sheriffs, as I said. So we are going to be investigating this whole situation and also anything else that happens, within the vicinity of Vegas. I'm assuming that you're going to be put on a team with us to do that. So we would like to ask you from time to time to use some of your more you things, right?
And what do you mean by you things?
She huffs, turns around and walks off the roof and doesn't investigate it. She's annoyed with Hawk and makes her way back downstairs. And that's where that scene cuts, with Hawk just standing up there on the roof. And if you follow her, that's fine. And then we'll get into the story proper. That was a little thing that is a little intrigue in the beginning, I believe. But now we're going to come to the next part. And we see video surveillance of the Bellagio Hotel casino floor. and it is scanning around, so on and so forth. And it comes across the target in which it's looking for. And it's a guy sitting there playing some slots. I don't know. Let's see what he looks like there, Sean Pataki.
Yeah, it's just a homeless bum walking around aimlessly, talking to himself. Only thing that really stands out is just gaudy overcoat with this leopard print fur going around the neck. It looks awful. Looks like he picked it right out of a Goodwill dumpster.
All right, and you are on the penny slots there. You know what I mean? Just looks like maybe he's not as destitute as he seems. He just doesn't have an absorbent amount of money. I would assume. And I think it may be just by chance that he's here. What did bring you into the casino today?
Tacky saw a couple of after party goers drunkenly making their way across the strip, and decided to start stalking them. He's casually playing the penny slots while keeping an eye, waiting for one to separate out that he could get alone.
Take care of some satiation. Yeah, vitae. That's a good thing. Oh wait, no, sorry, vampires have vitae. It's blood. All right. Well, as you're playing the slots, you feel like you might be being watched. Make a real quick. Make a wits and composure check for like kind of looking around.
I'm sorry, what was that kind of check?
Wits and composure, please, sir.
Wits and composure. Yes. Now, in the spirit of kind of explaining how this system works,
yeah, we can get right with that. So what you'll do here is you'll count up the dots in each of those attributes. Those are actually, and roll that many dice. Now, what your hunger level should be 1, because that's what everybody's is going to be right this minute. So one of those dice has to be one of your blood die. If you can do a different color, that's great. Or if you just know that, hey, this color purple one's to be my blood die, that's cool.
Totally got it.
And with that blood die, zeros are really bad because that if you have the real dice, it has the beast on it. And tens are also not great because those are messy criticals, and it's still the beast is interested-ish at that point, maybe. 6 are better, and then I will go by your target. I'll tell you what this first one is. You need to. How many dice you rolling?
3. I've got 2 in wits and 1 in composure.
You got to get 1.
Okay. What's my target?
1.
Okay, so I got an 8, 5, and a 3.
Okay, so you got 1. You do notice that there's been a woman who the audience per se has seen, but much more done up and ready to be partying. She's very cute, only about 5 feet tall. Again, looks like Ruby Rose. If you know the people who know what that is, if not, look it up. And she walks around the because in casinos they all go back to back and walks around the wall of slots, and this last time around comes and stops in front of you. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I would look her in the eye roll my own and put a coin in the slot, pull the lever.
So he doesn't look. He looks forward. Doesn't give any mind to the 5-foot woman that walked to her.
Not a moment.
Sean, right?
Go away.
That's not going to happen. But yeah, tacky. Is that what people call you? You're muted.
Sorry, I thought I unmuted myself.
No, you're good.
He would turn around and lock eyes and attempt to use the compel on the dominate this.
That's fine. The thing when you look into her eyes, the thing you notice is that they look like coyote eyes. They don't look like human eyes. So you know you're dealing with something that's not human right off the bat. So I'm going to here's the thing from this world that we're playing in, because it's concurrent with the world that Andrew plays as well. You get a once per game GM storyteller. We might not want to do that right off the bat.
You get one freebie per session where the GM will tell you that's a really bad idea.
Yeah.
Whether or not you decide to do it is still entirely up to you, but at least then you get a warning.
Yes. So we're going to institutionalize that right now there, Jason. You can try to compel her if you'd like. But again, you look directly in her eyes, like you said, and you notice this is not a human being.
No, Tacky knows that he's not speaking with a mortal. And the look of his face, does he look like he's used to making good decisions?
No, that is very fine. Go, I mean, do what you would like, sir.
Well, let's see here how exactly this works. And
all right, so we'll go to because I don't have all this shit memorized, and I don't need to. Let's just go. Let's go look at what that thing is. That's a dominate, right?
Yes, dominate.
Compel. So it's free. So that it is charisma and dominate versus intelligence and resolve for Riley.
All right.
Okay.
Charisma and dominate. Does one still need to be the blood die?
It absolutely does.
All right. Just one, right?
Just one at this point, sir.
All right. Do you want me to differentiate what the score on the blood die is versus the other three?
Only if it's if it is just a success, I don't need to know that. But if it's either one or
okay. So it's 3 5s and a 4.
Oh, so you failed. And she got 1.
Oh, you biffed it.
Yeah, you biffed it. So, Riley looks at you and says, Tacky, either I can escort you very amicably to see a very important person here in Las Vegas, or not so. I don't know what the slow game you're trying to play right now is, but I'm not very interested. Does that sound okay to you?
Tacky slams his bucket on the side where the slot is. Stands up, huffs. Let's go see His Majesty.
It's actually her now.
Whatever.
Yeah. After you, and she insists that you walk in front of her, and but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'd walk in.
So, what brings you to Las Vegas, there, Tacky?
I'm hungry.
Aren't we all?
Look, I've already presented myself, and I don't know what this deal is. It's a female now. I don't know. What are you? I know it's 2018, but are we really going with the trans thing on the prince?
It's 2019. Wow.
Already?
And no, it's a woman. She's Princess. It's a woman. She's the first.
You'd kind of look off to the side, away from her, and kind of whisper, and keep walking.
Yep. She saw you do it, but like, I don't know, she knows things. So, she takes you to the elevator, and the elevator rides all the way to the top, and then she puts a key in and pushes it in, and it goes up another floor, and it opens up to what you see is the residence of Jason Phoenix. Today, there is a metal detector and body scanner right as you exit the elevator. But besides that, what you see is a very lavish, very well put to do, kind of minimalistic in a way. But everything's super high end and beautiful. We find a sea of 60 to 70 people when we walk into this into the residence, and the elevator opens right into the residence. There's no hallway, there's no nothing. So Riley steps forward, goes through, says hello to the woman that is manning the booth. This is not a surprise. She's not surprised to see who this person is. And I'm having a brain fire. Andrew, do you remember what that girl's name is?
Nope.
I don't either. Damn it.
No idea.
Well, it doesn't matter. So she says pleasantries to her, goes through. There is a scan that comes up on her, and there is a weapon on her. You can see it right on the side of her body, and she's giving no problems. And they motioned you to come through the scanner. They're Mr. Tacky.
Oh yeah, I'd walk through it. I've got nothing on me.
Well, they're going to see every single thing. So, what is on your body?
Just what swings between my legs.
Wow. And a little bit of coin, huh?
Not even.
You're playing penny slots.
Yeah, they're down there on the slot.
Yeah. Oh, you left them there. How good. That's funny. All right. Yeah. So she brings you in and leads you down a hallway to an office, and opens the door and asks you to sit down. Again, it is very minimally appointed. It has all the necessary things, but it's nice looking.
Is there a plush chair that looks like it would be really?
There is actually. There's a couch over on the one end of the office.
Okay, I would walk over, plop myself down in one of the corners, and really try to rub my stank into it. And
okay, how nice is that? I love that answer. So we're gonna go back out into the main floor of the residence of Jason Phoenix, and what we find is a bustling party. It's now about 9:50 or so, and we see kind of like a zoom in shot where it does kind of focus on 4 different faces. And the first face that it focuses in on is a guy who's standing over in the corner. He's on his phone, I'm assuming. It makes sense. And he's of Asian descent. What are you doing on your phone there, Simon?
No, I said I do not want excuses. Just get it done. Yes, you will have the resources you need. Yes, you have my authorization. Hold on.
All right, so we see that Simon Shigenoa, is that right? Shigenoa?
Shimada.
Shimada.
Yep.
I'm gonna mess it up all the time. Is there? He's how's he dressed?
Oh, he's dressed like a gentleman of leisure. He is dressed in a blue sport coat and a white shirt. Looks like he was conducting business. Very well dressed for sure.
Very nice, very nice.
Tailored, yeah. No tie though, because it's it's a party.
Makes sense. He was conducting business right then. It sounded like so. Up walks a girl, maybe. She's probably below 22. Certainly seems to be kindred. And well, it certainly is kindred. It's a person you know. But to the audience, obviously not. Her name is Victoria. She is the assistant to the Princess of Nevada, and she's coming over to talk to you there, Simon.
And as she does, I say, No, Trevor, I have to go. Just take care of it. Yes. Arigato. And then I look up to Victoria and I say, Miss Victoria, it is a pleasure as always. What can I do for you?
She wants to talk to you.
Of course she does.
Little quick powwow before we announce everything.
Very good. Are you escorting me or do I go up on my own?
I'm going back there now. If you'd like to come with, that'd be fine.
Very good. Let's go.
And she turns around and scurries back through the crowd to an area that looks like it probably would have been kind of a formal dining room, but the table's been taken out and there's a couple of nice, very nice couches and so on and so forth, and some chairs in the one end, and there is a woman sitting in there. She's dark-skinned, dark-haired, has kind of a Middle Eastern-ish look to her, and is sitting there all alone in the room, and there's nobody else in there, waiting. Looks annoyed-ish, I'd say.
And I would enter the room, and I would imagine, like, as she catches my eye, I would give her just the slightest bow, just enough that my head would go down enough to break eye contact with her, and then as it comes up, you would just see this sort of contempt in my eyes. But I would present myself to her, and I would say, "Princess, you have beckoned me. I am here."
Beckoned? Who says beckoned you? Anyway, it. Anyways, what we are going to be having the announcement here in a few minutes. I would like for you to come up to the podium with me, along with Jason. Seeing that you are my first in command here. There, Simon. Is that agreeable?
Do I have a choice?
We all have choices in this world. You could stand to the side and not look as if you're as close to where you wanted. But we're not going to get into that again.
No, indeed we are not. I will stand with you as you command.
So, with the issue, I'm assuming that doesn't sit right with you.
Of course it does not. It shows a problem in your kingdom. Would you not agree?
Could. Absolutely could. But my reign has only been a few months, so I think it will just throw an end to growing pains.
Yes, well, it has been my experience that there are no growing pains when you sit on the throne. You survive or you die.
Yeah, I vent to the roof. But anyways, why don't you? Would you? I'll tell you what. I need 5 minutes, and then we're gonna do this. So, thank you, Simon.
And I would nod, and I would again do a little bow, and then I would turn around and walk out the door, and just wait right outside.
Yep, and it kind of lingers there for a second, and we fizzle out to what is first-person view of a girl of a vision of in a party, and the person sips wine a couple of times. It's a red of some sort, and she's just humming to herself. What song are you humming to yourself there, Chris?
Mustang Sally.
I love it.
He is humming something from La Traviata in her head.
Okay, very beautiful. I love that answer. And what are you drinking tonight?
Champagne. Only the best.
But a red champagne tonight. It's might be not very used very often. So
perhaps.
Yeah, it's you look to your left, and the person that you came to the party with, his name is Don. This is a guy that you've known here in the hotel, quite a while. Kiara here has been employed with the Bellagio Hotel for a few months, since moving from up north, and he's the only friend that you have so far, really. So he looks up to you and goes, I don't know if maybe it's that we've drank a lot of wine, but I don't think that lady over there's blinked since we've got here.
Which one?
And she points out it's an Asian woman, very classically cute as all vampires are for the most part. And you watch her for like 15 seconds, and you just lose interest, and I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It says it's inconclusive for you.
Really focused or something. That's and I turn back to the window. I've been mesmerized by the view all night. It's
Yeah,
so
you can see
different.
it is very different. The view is of this strip. It's so high, and and wide, and it's glass all the way around. So yeah, the view is absolutely spectacular. It's a beautiful night. The moon is out, even facing where you're looking right now, and a little bit of a maybe misty, foggy like cloud cover, and yeah, it's a beautiful night, and you've already started out with some very nice wine that I'm sure you're impressed. Sorry, champagne that you're impressed by. So yeah, next thing we come to is the woman that dropped out, Riley, comes out of the office and comes to another man. He seems to be human, certainly. He blinks and he's clearly breathing. And walks up to him and says, "Alex, we're going to have to let him know that uh, I have the man that they were looking for." And he agrees. Says, "All right, I'll talk with Jason. And thank you. Might want to mingle now." And Riley says, "Yeah," and goes off from the party. And she's a pretty fun girl and gets talking to people. She has no problem making friends. But Alex takes the information and makes his way over to uh, kind of where you do. There is a podium set up, but it's like kind of one of those like glass ones that so it's not very pronounced. You really wouldn't even notice it there unless you're right up on it. And off to the side of that, there we see a man with a cigarette in his hand, but it's not lit. Um, Seems a little nervous. What's going on there, Mr. Phoenix?
I don't like gatherings like this, and I like them even less when they're in my home.
Yeah. So Miss Ruin came back, and she has brought the person in question.
Or just
Sure. He's in the office. Yeah. But I think here in a minute or two we're going to be um, having your announcement, so that might have to wait till after that.
yeah, let's do the big announcement first, and then we'll see what the princess wants to do about that.
Okay. Just hold tight. I'll let you know. And he walks off. And he goes over to where we saw the previous woman, Victoria, and have a little conversation. It looks like they're doing logistical stuff. In the back of the room, I would assume there's a man who looks like the suit is wearing him rather than him wearing a suit. Sitting back there. What are you doing in the back of the room there, Hawk?
I'm just observing. What are you doing?
Oh no, that was actually just more for you. Is he? He's just observing the room. Not is he?
Yeah,
Faithfully having a drink, or is he?
he's pretty much watching everything, try to see if like anything's off. Pretty much just keeping himself aware of things.
Okay. You definitely see Jason off in the distance. One of the only people in the room. You also see out of a side room come Princess Accuse, and you met her last night as well. So yeah, it looks like things are starting to come together to you. So right before the announcement looks like it's to start, Kiara gets a little poke on her side.
I turned to see who poked me.
And
Yes.
it's a very familiar woman to you. You know her from back in Seattle. Her name is Yasmin. She's a instructor of sommeliers per se. She works with a company up there in Seattle that is a major distributor, so on and so forth. So she's the instructor that they use to go out and teach about the different wines and so on and so forth for the brands that they represent. You've met her many a times. She didn't know you were going to be there, and neither did you.
I take her, grasp her hand with my free hand and give her a kiss on both cheeks as I say, Yasmin, how lovely to see you again. I didn't realize you'd be here.
You did notice that they have a very vast selection of Northwestern wines, didn't you?
I did. Is that your doing?
You know how I get my fingers into everything. But the bigger thing is I didn't know that you weren't in Seattle any longer.
I moved a couple months ago. I see you have impeccable taste as usual.
Yes. It should be a spectacle tonight. And she smiles at you. But what happened with you're here alone? Where is he?
I'm quite alone, yes. Things didn't work out.
What was his
You know
name
how these
again?
things. Bradley.
Oh, and it didn't work out. Oh, that's too bad to hear. What? So you're here alone in Vegas? In the residence of
Just a few floors down. Actually, I'm working here.
in the Bellagio.
Yes.
Fantastic, my friend. What really? And she suddenly has a different glow.
It's time for a fresh start, and this was a great place to be for, a career. It's a great career move, don't you think?
Yes. This is a very good place to be. Yeah.
Will I get to see more of you now that I'm here instead of way up in the corner of the country, northwest?
Well, surprisingly enough, I'm here tonight and tomorrow, and I'm going back up north.
Oh. Well, we'll have to do lunch before you leave.
How about we just hang out now? And
I am all yours.
You all of a sudden feel much more wanting to do that as soon as she said it. And everything around you is drawing you to her. She seems to have gotten a little prettier, maybe. She is more desirable, and you don't know why. And it all of a sudden just kind of hits you. Is it the wine? Is it the ambiance of being in the nicest residence you've ever seen in your life? Is it seeing this old friend? Is that there's a million thoughts that are flooding through your head. But she continues. So yeah, we could just have a fabulous evening. We're here in Vegas. Do you know why you're here?
No, I mean, they just said they wanted everybody here.
Oh,
Staff to move off early to attend.
this is going to be a very interesting and informative evening for you, sweetie.
Still, we're celebrating the relaunch.
Yes, there's a new owner.
They've been kind of quiet and mysterious about it all.
Well, that's a thing. I think you'll find out some information tonight that either you will or maybe won't remember. It's oh, yeah, it looks like it's starting right now. And she takes the hand that you were holding on to and you hold on to your hand and kind of fondles your fingers, and you're not unhappy about that idea. To the game, the character activated awe and made a mortal very easily want to be with her. It was very easy for her. Just so we can talk about powers because this is new to all of us. So that's why that happened there. And so we'll move forward a little bit. Walks up to the podium, and there is a woman, and she walks directly there. Again, dark featured, dark haired, wearing a beautiful blue and white dress. It kind of looks like it's cascading into each other from one side to the other, from the right shoulder to the left leg. And she walks up and goes, excuse me. I don't know, I'm actually excusing myself, but may I have the floor, please? And the crowd certainly bellows down, and well, it's wonderful to have all of you here tonight. And it's to announce some new beginnings. I know not all of us are the same here, so some of this might make sense to some of you and might not make sense to others. But there's a new regime here at the Bellagio Hotel, and it starts with a man that I have selected and will now be enforcing and be in charge of the day-to-day operations here, and his team, of course. The man I'm speaking of, his name is Jason Phoenix. And many of you will know that somebody that our organization has been looking for quite some time. We're very happy to have him. So I'm going to give the floor to Jason Phoenix.
Jason walks over to the podium and thanks. Gives the princess a nod, thanking her. He kind of looks out over the crowd for a minute, kind of leans on the podium. He says, I'm not one for big speeches, so I'm going to keep this relatively brief. I thank you all for this privilege. I thank you all for this opportunity. I look to perform this role to the best of my capabilities and make sure that Vegas continues to be something positive and sustainable for all of us. I know that I may not always make decisions that everyone agrees with, but understand I do it for a greater good. Thank you.
All right, and he walks off.
Yep.
Okay, so he backs up a couple spaces. Back up to the podium is the same woman. Well, thank you. And let's bring in the new year with some new regime. And something that just came through today, Jason. Kind of now that it came so quickly, it's maybe a present to you for all of this. We've actually come into your reach is a bit further than you thought. We've come to acquire the MGM Grand and the Mirage as well. I'm assuming that you'll be able to be okay with all of that.
I think that'll be just fine.
So, to the New Vegas, everyone. And she holds up her glass of much more viscous of a consistency than regular wine, but it's the same color, but it's much more viscous than that. And there's a lot of the glasses that have that same consistency. I'm gonna say, Chris, within your state of awe with Yasmin, you don't really notice. So yeah, there's a toast, and she says, "Okay, well, now that we have those formal type things out of the way, there's something that I would like to address. Um, there was a situation that happened here um, in the last 48 hours that is completely unacceptable to our kind and to let's just say leniency was given when maybe it shouldn't have been. Watch yourself, my family. And let's have a good time tonight. And she toasts again. And music kind of comes back up. And we continue to party. Is there anything that anybody would like to do? You are at a party. You know what I mean? There are people that know people in the room. You can do whatever you'd like.
I would, at least for the time being, just sort of continue to hobnob and rub elbows. I'm going to step away for just a minute, and if anybody needs to talk to me directly when I come back, we can do that.
Actually, I don't. I actually would like to go to the bathroom as well. So why don't we take like a couple minutes here, guys? I'm sorry. I know that's a little short there for a minute,
No,
but
that's fine.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Sounds good.
Okie doke.
be a good thing.
Business is
see.
about to pick up considerably, young lady.
We're back and we're drinking. Woo! Let's get,
Right.
let's get our vampire on.
I'm pretty lame.
Salute, you should say.
All right, good to go.
All right,
It's making me awkward, though.
so what we come back to is exactly as we left. The floor is your guys at this point. You can kind of do what you'd like within the confines of this party. And again, everybody knows somebody for the most part besides Taki, and we'll get to him in a little bit.
Hey, Cory.
Actually, we're gonna go right to him right now. I'm sorry, just real quick. What is we pan back into that office? What is Sean doing?
Oh, I've made my way out of there. I kind of went through some of Mr. Phoenix's things and found an ill-fitting jacket. Kind of pulled back my scruffy hair. And
because you saw what everybody was very fancily dressed and so on and so forth.
So I am awkwardly along the back of the crowd as Jason is making his little speech. Got my hair pulled back, holding a glass of champagne, but not really doing anything with it, and just kind of eyeing the crowd, trying to gauge if this is like an open feeding gathering or are we more along the lines of kind that don't really understand where they are. So
yeah,
I'm half hunting.
I'm all about it. So yeah, we can open the floor up now.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, I would kind of be moving my way through the crowd, trying to find any kind of conversation that I might be able to awkwardly interject myself into. And
you come about that same woman that brought you here.
Oh, I don't like her. I want to keep going.
In my milling around, do I notice his behavior?
You definitely let's have you do a wits and composure for a little bit perceptive looking.
Okay. Do I need to roll a blood dice with this?
You always do. And that becomes one of the die in the pool.
So I got 4 successes.
Okay.
My blood dice was a success, but it was not a 10.
Okay. You absolutely notice that there is a guy that has one of your suit jackets on. And it's kind of the one that you go to when you have to put on a suit jacket to go do something real quick. You know what I mean? Like you just it's hung on the back of your door type deal thing. And he's milling around. Yeah, it looks like he's definitely a kindred. He's the guy that you saw in the dossier.
Yeah, I'm gonna make my way over to him.
Sure. Go ahead.
So yeah, I watch him for a while and then sort of systematically cut him off from everybody to isolate him.
Sure.
I would kind of once I realize what's going on, I kind of just hold up my hand. So what's the deal here? What kind of party we at right here?
He just looks at you for a moment very sternly. He says, "That was one of my favorite suit jackets."
This? Well, I really just kind of needed to fit in. That you didn't want me walking around in what I walked in, do you?
No, not particularly. Do not, under any circumstances, feed here. Do you understand me?
And as he's saying, I'm kind of peeking over his shoulder. Kind of got my eye on a nice blonde female talking amongst some friends. I will pass the glass of champagne to Mr. Phoenix and say, "Sure thing, Firebird," and walk towards the female.
All right. I had to laugh at that.
There's going to be PvP immediately.
Yeah, so good.
Good question.
Jason?
Hawk would be right next to Phoenix, so he would kind of like look at him and he'd be like, "Do you want me to do
So
it?"
Hawk just shows up. I love it. He just steps to
Jason's just like, no, just go somewhere else and don't fuck anything up. Just do that for me, okay?
All right. And Hawk is gonna grab a drink, and he's probably gonna go to the elevator and just wander around.
You're leaving the party?
Oh yes.
Tactless gangrel.
Yeah. Where's he go?
He's just gonna wander around and look at the place.
So he goes down to the casino floor?
He's
Like,
just
you know,
gonna
like
go to the elevator and start pressing buttons and see where he lands.
Okay. That's a great answer. You hit the one that has the star. That is the casino floor because it makes the most sense, and it's the largest button on there. And you go down to the bottom floor, and it smells wonderful out here. There is so many mortals and so many potential meals.
Yeah, I'll get back in the elevator and hit another button.
When you get back in the elevator, it just goes up, and if you push a different button that's before the floor that you want to get off at, it doesn't stop. It just goes up.
Okay, so I'm stuck in the elevator. That's lovely.
And it gets off and it opens up to that door that you just came from.
So I'm stuck in the
No,
casino area.
the elevator goes all the way up to the top. It stops at and you're looking into the party again.
Crap. Okay. I guess he's just gonna walk around and yeah.
All right, so you just kind of mills around the party, I'm assuming.
Yeah, he's just gonna walk around and try to, not to talk to anybody unless they approach him.
Okay. So this blonde that you walk over to there, Tacky, she's talking to a woman that is clearly kindred, but is talking to a dark-haired girl and this blonde. And you walk over and so yes, Kiara. It's very fantastical if I was to tell you everything that you have the questions of right now, because yes, I understand. She did say family. And I don't know. Like here at the hotel, it's like family. Right? That's how they want it to be. It's how it was where you worked in Seattle. The whole organization.
Okay. But yeah, I can see that. So who should I know here yet?
Sorry, come again?
Who should I be introducing myself to?
Well, I'll tell you what. You're going to definitely want to meet the man that they just spoke of, Jason Phoenix. He's the new owner. A very compelling man. He's got a great tech company. I've outfitted a few times that he's had galas in the Seattle area. It's very interesting to see that he's here, to say the least. And the woman that spoke first, she would be an interesting one to meet. It wouldn't be a bad. Let's see how the evening goes. And she fills up your glass a little bit more with some of the champagne.
Oh, thank you.
And the whole time has still been holding your hand, and just kind of excuse me, leans in and whispers to you, a little too close. But again, you're feeling like all of this is okay. There's something about her that just makes this not so strange. You've always felt a presence per se from Yasmin. She always had a way to direct a room. Um, Now that you think about it, with what Don told you earlier, you kind of feel that way sometimes when Yasmin was giving classes, that she blinked far longer than the average person did. It's you start looking about the room, and you're noticing that a lot. And some people aren't even blinking at all, ever. And it's not weird for some reason. Is it the wine again, maybe? Is it the fact that you and Don opened up a bottle that you've been saving for this evening before this happened? So she's a little, little something. She's got half of one kind of bended on to her maybe, and Yasmin leans in and says, "It's really nice to see you. It really is. Where are you staying?"
I have a room just a few floors down. It's so gorgeous. Way nicer than anything I've ever had in Seattle.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. It sounds like you've not had the greatest time as of late, and you left town that you grew up in. Is this really where you want to be?
I just want to leave the past behind right now, Yasmin, really. I'm loving it here. It's different, it's new, it's exciting. I love my new job. I'd never be in this position if I was in Seattle. I'd be at least a couple steps lower on the ladder. You know what I mean? Too many dudes still big. So I couldn't pass this opportunity up. And honestly, I'm very happy not to have to run into that asshole Bradley anymore. It's fine with me. He was turning up in way too many places. And this way I get to just forget he exists until I'm ready to face him on my own terms. So, to go with him, I say, let's party, girl.
Yeah, and she cheers you with, again, a glass of red liquid that looks like a very dark wine, but it's a little more viscous than it should be.
What are you doing?
This is where Tacky would kind of force his way into the conversation and lean in between both girls, Sierra and the blonde, and say, "You know what? You're absolutely right. This place is a whole lot drier than I was told it was going to be." And point at Sierra. "You look taken. You, however, I would really like to see what that dress looks like on my floor. How about you come over
here?" How about no?
And I would try to lock eyes with this blonde.
Yeah,
Speaking,
she's looking right.
she's looking right at me. All right. I
That's
would
kind of snotty. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, and I would attempt to keep talking to her and roll on my dominate a little bit and kind of have her. Well, like I guess let's see if I succeed first, right?
Yeah. What is? Yeah. Okay, I gotcha. Go ahead.
So
Don't forget about that blood die.
this would be charisma and compel, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I would roll it. 9 on the blood die. One of the others was a 10, and I got a 4 and an 8.
All right. So you got 2 successes. She kind of squinches over her nose and goes, "But why? Whose code is that?" And she starts giggling a little bit at you.
Oh yeah, and as she's giggling, I start to continue speaking to her, and in between the words, she starts to hear kind of a lower voice in her own head, starting to make her a little paranoid of the rest of the people around her. She starts to feel a little bit afraid as the light of the edge of the room starts closing in a little bit. Pretty soon, she feels like she's in a spotlight all alone, and hears my voice. Just barely on the edge of her consciousness. Run.
Kara, I need to use the restroom. Would you like to come with?
Absolutely.
It's a girl you work with. No, I'm talking to her. And she looks back at you.
And as she's saying that, I got her by the arm and heading towards the front door. He said, "Not to feed in here, right?" So,
I don't know who you're talking to, but do you wait? You say that in front of the group?
That is me asking you for
me.
Oh,
that would be so much better if it was Tacky just saying it.
I don't know where his boundary was.
Excellent. So I got her by the arm. Like, you don't want to. This is much too posh of a golden toilet. Let's go to the next floor over here. And start walking her towards the elevator.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I mean, how does Kiara take that? Her friend. I mean, it's one of the other sommeliers. You know what I mean? It's
Right. I assume. I mean, Yasmin doesn't look like she doesn't want to go, right?
Oh yeah, Yasmin. At one point, looks up at at Tacky and just. You don't really notice because you're just kind of maybe off into the party with driving the music for a second. But she just kind of like meets eyes with him and just shakes her head no at Tacky. And the yeah, it was more of a she answered your question if you said that out loud. There, Tacky.
Right. So I'm still holding on to her hand, and I give her a tug, like in the opposite direction, So like now we're kind of playing tug of war with her, and I'd say, "You were going to introduce me to Jason, weren't you? We should go do that, right? and then why don't we, take care of that trip to the ladies?"
I would look at Sierra and my eye would flash, and I would point that way towards Phoenix. Don't worry, he's over there. Why don't you go say hi? Don't worry, she's in good hands.
But Yasmin was going to introduce me. We're good friends. I'm sure you'll understand.
Well, I'm going to go with him. He's talked about showing me the casino floor. I'll see you later.
Okay, now I guess I'll go find Dawn then. And I look at you with that like questioning.
No, wait. Sorry. Let me clarify who's talking here. That was the blonde hair girl that is with Sean. That's with Tacky and is going off with him. So and you just say yeah. I mean, it's not a big deal. Then Yasmin does look at you and go, "Let's go do that," and lead you by hand through the crowd over to where Phoenix is talking with Alex.
I'm like, Alex, how much longer is this thing going to go for?
To be a while, Jason.
Fantastic. I'm loving every minute of it.
I could tell. Did you know you found the guy?
Oh, yeah. No, I noticed. That dude looks like he's about to just eat somebody here in the middle of the party.
Well,
I'm really super thrilled about having that guy here. Actually, where is the princess?
she's been hanging out in the what would have been your dining room.
Wonderful. Can you please go find out what she wants to do with this guy? Because he's sort of weirding me out.
Absolutely. And he walks off to go do that. And up walks a woman that you have met. Yasmin is a rep for all type of wine and spirits in Seattle, and she's done parties for you. That I've ever done.
Do I know her by name? Do I recognize her by name?
You would know her as a person that you've come in contact with 3 or 4 times in your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe I don't know. I mean, if Jason cares that much to know somebody
No. No.
Yeah. So, but she walks up and says, "Jason, Yasmin from Seattle. Do you remember?"
He turns and he has a moment of oh shit, more people, and then real fast tries to flash into Mr. Personality. He's like, "Oh, I remember the face. I'm really glad you gave me the name again because I wouldn't have remembered."
That's fine. It's lovely to see that you've come home.
Yeah, should be interesting.
It's interesting stuff. So this is my friend here. Her name is Kiara. She works here. She's one of your employees, one of the small A's, and in the team that works here.
Do I smell that she's still mortal?
She's still a person.
She's
definitely a cute girl.
I kind of give Yasmin a kind of a quizzical look. So, okay.
Oh, no, not food.
Oh.
And you hear her say that, Kara. Not food.
I give her a sideways glance, like, what's that all about? Mr. Phoenix, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Always a pleasure to meet one of my new employees, I guess you could say.
It's great. Enjoy working here so much.
Good.
I'm going to do a little DM, storyteller thing. You activate all at this point, Jason.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
So you feel the same kind of attraction that you feel to Yasmin to Jason at this point. That kind of warm, very inviting presence. I don't know. Yeah, just something about him as well. Okay.
And I imagine I've let go of Yasmin's hand at this point in order to shake Jason. Certainly no stranger to mingling at work things, and so I extend my hand to shake his hand, and I imagine that I linger a bit and letting go.
Yeah, Jason actually shakes your hand with both of his and gives you a very warm smile, very welcoming, very comforting kind of smile. He's like, it's good to have you on the team.
Thank you. It's so good to be here.
I think at that moment, Jason probably would be aware of it well before Kiara ever would. I would come over and, seeing Jason with this woman, and kind of everybody knowing that this woman is maybe one of the few mortals here, I would step in and I would be like, I would say, Jason, this is a wonderful party. Why don't you introduce me to your guest? Knowing that probably will piss him off, but such is life.
Do I know who this is?
Mm-hmm. No, you again, as you and I spoke earlier, you've seen this person a few times. You know who he is. Yeah, you know that. Yeah,
I know his name.
Yes,
I know.
You meet and shake this man's hand.
I know how he fits into the business picture.
You know everything of what it is, and he knows a lot of what you are as well. I'm gonna tell you.
Jason will look, and just for a second, like there's a moment where he doesn't necessarily recognize him, and then it clicks, and he immediately shifts right back into that sort of awe personality and just, oh, absolutely. Please meet what I'm looking forward to having as one of my new associates. This is Mr. Shimada. He works with us here, has done a lot of work here in the hotel for the security systems that we have. Very excited to be working with this man.
And
Mr.
one thing,
Shimada,
real quick,
fabulous to meet you.
Okay, sorry. But the one thing you notice there, Simon, is that the two kindred that are there both have all activated, and you can tell.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I actually would do the same. Poor Kiara, because I'm intentionally trying to create a bit of a power struggle here. So I would also activate it, and I would say to Kiara. Well, first I would say to Jason, kind words indeed, Mr. Phoenix. Thank you. And then I would look over to Kiara and I would be like, you are new here, are you not?
Yeah, just been here a couple months. It's a pleasure to meet you.
And I would take your hand and I would kind of hold it in mine, and I would give this little bow, and I would say, no, the pleasure is mine. I must warn you, though, Jason Phoenix is sometimes a hard man to work for. He is quite demanding. I hope you are prepared for that.
Oh, I hope so. I certainly wouldn't want to disappoint.
And I say, I'm sure you will do just fine. If you will excuse me for just a moment, madam, I need to speak to Mr. Phoenix about some pressing security matters.
Of course.
And then I would...
And Yasmin jumps in and goes, that sounds like a great plan. Is Her Highness available?
Who is she asking that of?
Collectively to you two men.
All right, I will wait and defer to Jason.
I say I have not seen her recently. Last I heard, she was over in what used to be my dining room.
Yes, I believe that is where I saw her as well.
Would it be against anything this evening to introduce? I've met her in the past.
I don't see any reason why not, but good luck. She's not the best to talk to sometimes.
Why don't you try it and see what happens?
I can imagine with the situation that she spoke of, some dirty business. kind of came through today.
And I would say with that, yes, in fact, I do not mean to be rude, madam, but I really do have some security matters I must speak with Mr. Phoenix about. If you will excuse me.
Yeah, and you can the two girls will walk off.
Yep.
And
as that's happening, I'm like pulling out my phone, and I dial something. I pull up this image, and it's basically like the security cam footage in the hotel, specifically of Hawk going up and down in the elevators. And I would just kind of show it to him, and I would be like, "Do you know who this man is?"
Oh, good Lord, yeah. What is he doing?
Well, I do not know, but it seemed a little out of character. Is he one of our kind?
Yeah. Cory, can I tell which elevator he's in? Do I know?
it's the one that goes. Yeah, I mean, it's the.
There's only one here, right?
There's only one that goes up to the room that you.
Okay. I'm like, I just say, Eva, can you please bring that elevator back here? I'm gonna look at Simon and be like, if you'll excuse me for a moment, I need to go cull my dog. Apparently, well, maybe not cull. It's something. I have to go deal with something, and then I start heading off through the crowd over to the elevator.
But of course. And then I would turn back to the crowd, and I would start looking for anyone, man or woman that has like is Asian essentially in the crowd. If I can differentiate, and I imagine I could, between Japanese and anybody else, I would specifically like to find a Japanese person. But if not, then any other person of Asian descent will do.
Unfortunately, the only other couple of Asians that you notice are all kindred.
That's disappointing.
So yeah, you will have to have a search someplace else this year.
All right, very good. Then I would, in fact, probably leave the party and try to head down into the casino proper itself, onto the floor, to see if I could locate any any Chinese food. No, just kidding.
Yeah, I love it. No, that's a right answer. But here's a couple things I want to mention real quick. Within the game, there's a couple of rules to and the ones that are here part of the Camarilla now would know. You can only feed in a property that is owned by us, so that would be the 3 properties now. And you cannot feed from anybody of high importance inside of that hotel that is mortal. And obviously, we don't commit that type of crime here of feeding on anybody else. That would be kindred. So there's that. You can't bet more than $10 million, and that sounds fantastical to us mortals per se. But to most vampires, $10 million isn't a lot of money. They've been around for a long time. So it's or at least most that are going to be attached to Camarilla is not that type of issue. Not being a jerk.
Hey, I thought you weren't reading the chat.
No, I am now.
No, just kidding. No, there's no Asians in this party except for Camarilla.
Sorry, this is an Asian-less party.
Man, at least roll a die or something. Come on. No, just kidding.
Dude,
I'm good.
There's like 10 mortals in the whole party. Everybody else is kindred.
I know.
So, we so let's move along a little bit further. And Kiara, you are led to a room that is off to the side a little bit, and just as Jason said, it looks as if it probably would be a dining room under normal circumstances, but it's been turned into a little bit of like to your mortal eyes, like a VIP lounge. there's a few people sitting in there. Very nicely dressed, all of them. And they're milling together in the front part of the room. In the back, there's a woman that you saw speak earlier, sitting in the back of the room, with a young girl of about 22 that is sitting there with her, and they're having a conversation together. And you're led into this room. Yasmin, says hello to a few people that she notices, and walks to the back of the room and says, "Your Highness, would it be okay if I was to have a word?" And Accused looks up and, "Of course, there, my friend. I don't believe I know you." And she agrees to it. Yes. My name is Yasmin, and I have a lot to do with the alcohol industry. And it just would be very nice to make your acquaintance. And not every day you get to meet somebody of like you. And she's very cordial to her. And and who are you? She looks over and looks at you, and the same feeling comes about you. Unfortunately, everybody you come across has off. It just is what it is. It is free. So, but you don't get the same feeling from the girl that is sitting next to her at all. And she looks sad-ish. You know what I mean? Like somebody that had something terrible to them, but they're just putting on a good face. She's got they're looking at her phone, slumped in front of her. When you two approached, she stopped her conversation, and like somebody of this era went directly to their phone. So the princess looks up to you and says, "My name is Accused." And you, for a second there, anybody that knows her, she almost said the P word, but didn't. Princess, you know what I mean? But that wouldn't mean anything to Kiara, so she realized and caught it very quickly. It's a pleasure to meet you. You are?
Well, it's nice to meet you as well. I'm Kiara Manuzzi. I work in Alago. I'm one of the sommeliers.
Oh, all of you are tied to the vino. That's wonderful.
Yes, I enjoy it quite a bit.
I do enjoy a fine glass of wine. What is your favorite at this time?
Right now I'm very fond of that Montepulciano from Italy.
Maybe one day we'll have to share a glass there, my friend.
Absolutely. Always happy to share a glass.
And she kind of looks up from you and looks at Yasmin behind her and looks back. Do me a favor there, love. Go use the restroom and come back.
I look kind of quizzically at Yasmin as this is happening.
No, this is Accused, the princess telling you this.
Not sure why you wanted her to meet her, and not sure why you'd have been meeting her with a stranger. You're not leaving me, are you?
So, in a few minutes, I want to talk to Yasmin here for a moment. Is that okay?
Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. Of course, I'll meet you back in the main room, Yasmin. Yes.
No, come back here, my dear.
Oh, okay. Where
Out
is
the
the?
door, and then it's over near the elevator.
Thank you. And I leave.
Yep. And the princess looks at Yasmin and says, well, she's cute. And Yasmin goes, yeah, yes, absolutely. Why do we always play this ruse that we don't know each other in front of mortals? This is just hilarious. How are you doing, Yasmin? She says. And she goes, I don't know. It's always just a fun game. Kind of like this one, she says to her. And she doesn't have much to go. I think she'll make a good child. And Yasmin looks at her and goes, her demeanor was very pleasant, and I read people very quickly. You have the permission to do so. And I have a idea for her, because I'm assuming going back north. She'll make a beautiful toreador. Give her the ability to still eat and drink, please, because she's going to need that. She's working here. And you can leave her here, and she will be taken care of. But yes, you made a wise choice, Yasmin. Thank you. And Yasmin kind of gives her a fun little look. Looks excited. She's never sired anybody before, and looks visibly excited. And the princess goes back to excuse me, to her assistant Victoria, and they start chatting again, and Yasmin walks off and meets you back at the front of this room as you're walking back up. What are you thinking right now? And now again, you're in, as the power even has, in awe of all these people. They're the most interesting people in the world at this moment. At this moment, all of them that you've met so far. Actually, every single person you've met so far, besides Tacky, who is kind of repulsive.
Princess? Like, what is that about, Yasmin? Is she Paris Hilton or something?
She's royalty.
Royalty?
Yes, Kiara. Yeah, she is. We'll talk to her again some other day.
Okay.
Let's and she holds onto your hand, and she casts compel on you, and you're not going to be able to win the roll. You know what I mean? Because you don't have anything to be able to roll against. And you feel every desire and puppy love of wanting to be with this woman at this point. And she's compelling you to be to her. And you guys have some fun for a little while longer in the party. And as things would happen, she sweet talks you, and you feel comfortable to take her back to your room. Now, something that you've felt most of your life that yes, women are definitely beautiful. Women are so on and so forth. But with the way that your heart was broken, with almost being where you were in your life, the advances of this woman is exciting and new and different. And it's, for some reason right now, it doesn't seem weird. Again, is it the wine? No. Stop it. We already talked about this. So you invite her back down to the room that has been provided you by the hotel. As you said, it is beautiful. It's like you guys are in a Bellagio hotel on the top floors of the Bellagio hotel. You know, they look similar-ish. You know, all that same type of decor. But it's a suite. It's got 2 bedrooms in it, so on and so forth. And you guys get back to the room, and there's a little more wine and the dining, and she begins to seduce you. And in doing so, she looks at you at one point and goes, "Do you like this there, my dear?" And you don't ever.
Why, yes,
And
yes, you
it's
do.
nothing but just pure ecstasy and joy from the touch of this person. And she makes her way very quickly and precisely, starts at your ear, moves down your neck, some kisses along the way, and then you feel the most beautiful feeling you've ever had in your life. It's a rush of energy. It feels like adrenaline and ecstasy and all of the feelings of joy all flown in once. There's no pain. There's no, I would like this to stop. It is the greatest feeling you've ever had in your life. It lasts a good 2 or 3 minutes. And she has her way and drains you to nothing. And in that moment, Yasmin, who's seen it done before, knows exactly what to do. She takes a blade from her bag and slits her wrist slightly. And within the allotted time, introduces some of her vampire vitae into your body. And you begin to feel bits of life come back. You didn't realize that you were gone. It just went from the ecstasy to this. There was nothing in between. Shut up, all of you. And with every drop that falls into your mouth, a little bit more of that color comes back. And then you find that feel like you're being reborn, but not. It's almost just as if you've drank too much and you have now seen your last sunrise in your whole life. And at this moment, the mortal of Kiara is gone. She doesn't know that yet. The rest of the evening is you sleeping in your bed. And Kiara lays there with you for a while and touches your skin, and it's cold. Maybe a little bit of temperature to it because you just very recently went from immortal into a kindred. But where Kiara is going to stop for this evening is right there. And she will come around in the next morning, meaning the next dusk. But we got some business to work out with that. I didn't want to go too deep with that, and it was I think that was very appropriate to have an embrace of a vampire. It was okay. Yasmin did it right. She went to the princess to get permission, as you do in the Camarilla.
I was
And
really wondering if that was going to happen.
oh, I'm not dumb. So back into the party, we have where Victoria has now come and found Jason and Sean. And I would like to see a quick little scene where you have gone to find Hawk before this happens, because I want him to.
Yeah, I was heading over to the elevator.
Okay, so go ahead and do that.
So yeah, I'm waiting for the elevator to come back up.
And it comes back up, and you're in the elevator, aren't you, there, Hawk? Because you're still trying to leave, but the elevator won't let you.
Just randomly pushing buttons.
Again, this elevator will go to all the floors, but it also is controlled by the Camarilla, so they can control it to do whatever it wants. But yes, no, it will not let you off at the other floor. Either the ground floor where you don't want to be because you didn't like that, or back up to the park.
So does the door open up?
A couple times. Yeah, door opens up.
I'm just sitting there. I'm just sitting there looking at him like, get off.
You're muted.
Oops. No, he would be like, fine, and he would start walking out of the elevator.
I'm like, look, just stay here. Just don't eat anybody, okay?
Is this the like casino floor or the party
No,
floor?
You're
this
back
is
up
the
to the
party.
party again.
He would probably like. I mean, I would imagine at this point, like, I don't know if vampires get drunk or not, but he probably had quite a few drinks. It would be like, "Are you sure you want me in here?"
They do not get drunk, first off. And you can drink something that everybody else has been drinking tonight, which is called blood wine, which is kind of ish. Doesn't have any alcohol, but it's something you can drink to show.
Let's put it this way.
No, he would probably look at Jason and be like, "Look, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be down there. This fucking elevator doesn't work. I've been pushing buttons. It just takes me up and down. Just take me back to my room."
Just go back to your room and just stay there.
And that's exactly when that moment that I was just about to have happens. Victoria taps you on the shoulder and says, Her Highness is looking for you and Mr. Rodriguez. And also,
Fantastic.
Simon, I believe, is being beckoned.
Hawk, you're coming with me. Let's go.
If he looks at me, I'm just gonna stare right at her. I'm not gonna say anything, but I'll stare right at her.
And she makes it like you don't exist.
He would smile and then he would just turn around.
Yeah. And you go ahead and walk to the VIP area. It's now empty. Only accused is in there. And I'm assuming not too much later, you got a message there, Simon, to please come to the VIP area.
No.
We can say that, I guess. But yeah. Did you show up there, Simon?
Me? Sorry, I guess I missed that. She was
You
because I had
you got
gone
message.
down
You got
to
message
go
come
look
the
to
VIP
feed.
area.
So did I get like a text or something?
Yeah. She gave you a text message. It came directly from the princess.
Yeah, I would return, but I'll be surly.
It's Accused addresses the group and says, so this is what's gonna happen now that all of that is past us. You are going to partner with him, and she points first to Simon and then with Jason, and we're going to put together a little group, a coterie of sorts, that is going to work together and figure this out. Does that make sense? And seeing that you have your new pet project over there, I guess he's part of the group.
Yeah, he's come along.
Riding the elevator up and down.
Yeah, he's not terribly bright. We're gonna work on that.
And I would love it if after the other one, Taki or whatever his name is finished feeding on
Oh no, I'm
whoever
back.
he was. Huh?
I'm back.
Okay. If you could collect him, maybe you can get Miss Ruin to do that real quick. Bring him here as well. I'd like to see her as well.
I'm gonna go walk out, try and find Riley.
Yeah, she's easy as to send a message.
Okay, yeah, I just send her a text. I'm like, go get crazy guy and come see the princess.
I have eyes on him right now. She sends back.
I'm like, cool, grab him and get over here.
Yep, and yeah, you just get a yep back. The girl you don't like approaches you, within the party. Apparently, you look like you fed. I'm assuming.
Yeah, she would find me on the balcony, sitting on my ass with my arms over my knees, my head on my arms, just kind of sullenly sitting there.
Are you still in the suit jacket?
No, I've taken it off.
Okay. Where'd you put that?
Couldn't tell you.
Wonderful.
And I think at this, I would look over to Accuse and I would be like, I do not think bringing this man in is a wise idea. What is it about him that you think makes him valuable?
Well,
at that point, I sort of turn and look at him. I'm like, I happen to be the Baron here in Las Vegas now, so this sounds like this is pretty much solely my concern. Really glad you did security here for the casino. Bang up job on the work, by the way. Not going to knock you on that, but this is sort of my business now.
And I would say, yes, well, it seems when it comes to security threats to the princess's personnel, sometimes your responsibility isn't always as responsible as it should be.
Oh, why don't you not worry so much about the decisions I make with how I run things here?
Yes, well, if it ends up with our kind getting attacked or dead, I would think that is my concern.
Yeah, I'm here to take care of that, so don't worry about it.
And at that point, I would let it go, but not before there was like a bit of a stare down.
yeah. And Accuse would chime in and go, all right, there, boys. It's this. As he said, he's our Baron. And he made a decision with this man that others may not have.
With all due respect, Your Majesty, it seems as though you made the decision. You told him to summon this man.
And we did. and it was deemed that he was. She looks directly at Hawk. Not fit for trial.
He wouldn't even address her. He would just like lift his head and just look her right in the eyes, like he don't care.
Is that correct, Mr. Phoenix?
That is absolutely correct.
So now he's Jason's pet project, and she's kind of smiles and and feels a little bit of joy out of that at the same time. Good luck with that, Jason.
Yeah, we're gonna see how this goes.
And right about that time, Riley comes up to Tacky and goes, "Hey, we need another place now."
What do you mean another? Oh God!
Come on. And she bends down to help you up.
I'd get up. No word, no fuss, no muss, and follow her into.
She leads you over to where the VIP area is, and
Is this the same room that I was first brought to, where I sat on the couch?
nope. This is a very well appointed, what we would know as a VIP area. But it's just put together for this party. Again, if you would pay attention to that type of thing, it would look like a dining room, probably usually.
Yeah, the entire time that I'm being led there, I'm looking around. I need my coat.
That's in the office that you don't know. I don't know unless he remembers how to get back to it.
I don't.
Yeah, it's a fairly large.
The demeanor has changed quite a bit on Tacky, where I was kind of bouncy and
A
little hungry. Now I'm way more drawn inside myself and much more quiet.
Cat got your tongue now, there, Tacky. As you're walking over.
I like that coat.
What? Oh, the one you were wearing when you were downstairs.
I did too.
I guess I would sit down.
I don't know, boss. I think you lost that coat.
Yeah, not super happy about that.
Well, we'll have if it's around the. So you fed in the hotel, right, Tacky?
I would be looking around, kind of pawing at the couch or chair, whatever it is I'm sitting in. Why am I here?
And I would chime in at that point saying, that is a good question. Why is this man here?
I'd say that's the $1 million question right now.
Yeah. And that's where we're going to end.
Dun,
dun, dun.
So we have ourselves a person who just been turned who's going to have an evening of first Vampirehood in the next session. And why is Tacky here? Why?
It's the question.
Tune in 2 weeks to find out. On the next.
2 weeks.
Right.
Vegas by night. No.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming to the game tonight. Anybody that watches this in the future, that's just really fucking weird, first off. But I hope you enjoyed what you saw. This will be a weekly thing. Come back and check us out. Thank you. No, bi-weekly. Yeah.
It's okay. Words are hard.
Every fortnight. And thank you so much.
Go Rams.
To all of you.